Hey everyone, welcome to today's watch review. We have the Lorier Falcon II in for review, lent in by a member of my Discord server, Andresquesadag. So I want to shout him out and thank him for sending in his own Lorier Falcon II. Now this watch draws some design inspiration from three vintage references from Omega and Rolex. The original Railmaster 2914, the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 6580, and the Explorer Reference 6350. You guys can see that design inspiration coming through on this smaller Falcon design from Lorier. So I would say that this is an homage watch, but it's kind of difficult to single out one particular reference that it's drawing the most design inspiration from. And so for that, I can respect it to a higher degree. I know a lot of you guys know that I'm not the biggest homage watch fan. My opinion has really changed over the years, but this one, it's fun, it's playful, and it's smaller than the Series 1. The Series 1 was 39 millimeters in diameter, 12 in overall height, not counting the acrylic crystal. And this one is 36 millimeters in diameter, roughly 9 in overall height, not counting that bubble crystal. And the water resistance is a little bit smaller, 100 meters of water resistance, a screw down crown. And I think the smaller, thinner proportions, I think they're well received in the watch community. I think this one is a little bit more attractive than the Series 1 personally. Now we have BGW9 lume, a diamond textured dial, a sterile case back, and a domed plexiglass crystal that really helps emphasize the vintage nature of the design. And one of the reasons why Lorier could get thinner in the overall profile and case is the fact that they switched from a Seiko NH35 down to a thinner, higher beat frequency Japanese-made Miyota 90S5, which essentially is the no-date variation of the 9015. Now, this watch does come in a few different color combinations: black dial with gilt accenting, green dial with gilt accenting, a navy dial with silver accenting, and then this white version that I have in front of the camera. If we look at the bracelet, there is some nice things at play here. We have full articulation of the bracelet, so each piece is a separate piece of stainless steel, and there's a nice fine satin brushing along the top here, which really adds a fun dynamic and natural light. You're getting light play coming off of different surfaces to a very harsh degree, and so it looks sharp. It really looks fun in natural light. Now, as far as the overall dimensions, we have 36 millimeters diameter, 44.2 overall lug-to-lug length, 10.7 in overall height, with 20 millimeter lugs tapering down to 16 millimeter at the clasp. And you guys can see a milled clasp push button release with 3 separate micro adjustment holes that you will need a spring bar tool in order to make those adjustments, those fine tuning adjustments. There's a sign crown, and overall this I like the design. I like the smaller size. There seems to be a market for smaller sport watches for those of us that have smaller wrists and desire something that is a bit more proportional on wrist and doesn't look clunky, chunky, or just too wide. We don't want lug overhang. And so the Lorier Falcon II is an offering that really helps fill that void in the market. Now, is it a perfect watch? No, I don't think it is. I like the drilled lug holes. I like the finish work here. I like the size of the crown. I like the detail. But I think the biggest thing for me, the biggest nitpick, is the bracelet is borderline harsh when it comes to the abrupt nature of the edges here. So I think that could be rounded down just a tad. You don't want to lose that visual interest of the reflections off the satinized finishing, but it could be just a tad more refined in my opinion. And then the end link just doesn't seem to match the rest of the design. It seems a little bit bowed, if that makes sense, a bit more rounded and not quite the angular linear of the rest of the tapering bracelet. But minor nitpicks. It's easy to nitpick and kind of pull apart someone else's hard work. And we do that as reviewers, and it's really silly because this is a pretty strong offering. Sub 500 in overall price, and even lower on the secondary market if you find a used example. And for the price, considering what you're getting, considering the size, It's a fun watch, and I hope you guys have enjoyed taking a quick look at the details here, how this sits on wrist, and what it's like as a model. So I'm going to put a link to Lorier's website in the description. I want to thank Andresquesadag again for lending this in for presentation. I really appreciate it. I want to create more affordable content. I seem to be skewing on the luxury side of things recently, so this one has been fun to get in and share with you guys. So reach out with any questions. Thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.